Hello, my dear students. In this lecture, we are going to see one previous year GATE numerical. This question was asked in GATE 2019, and the question is based on the internal heat generation in case of plane slab, which is one of the topic of conduction. So let us understand the question. The question is, three slabs are joined together as shown in figure. Now, my dear students, here you can see this is the first slab, second slab, and third slab, right? Then there is no thermal contact resistance at the interfaces. Now at this first interface and second interface, there is no thermal contact resistance. The center slab experience a non-uniform internal heat generation with an average value equal to 10,000 watt per meter cube. Now my dear students, in this center slab, there is a uniform heat generation rate which is known as 10,000 watt per meter cube. Right. Now my dear students, here I will zoom this figure so that we will get proper understanding, right? Let us say this is the slab. Here I will complete the slab. This is the first slab. Let's say this is the first slab. I will name this slab as a 1. Then there will be a second slab like this, and then second slab is in between center slab. There's a third slab like this, right? And my dear students, for these all slab there will be a cross section area like this. There will be an area like this, right? You can understand it clearly, right? This will be the area of this slab, that is y dimension into z dimension, right? Now my dear students, here in this middle slab there is uniform heat generation rate at the rate of 10,000 watt per meter cube. Therefore, because of this uniform heat generation, somewhere in between there will be a maximum temperature that we have seen, right? Let us say on this axis, as there is a uniform heat generation in the center slab, for this there is a q dot, right, only for center slab, and this q dot is given here. We can say q dot is given 10,000 watt per meter cube, right? And because of this heat generation inside this slab, the maximum temperature will be, let us say, on this red line, right? Here I will show the maximum temperature. Let us say at this point the maximum temperature is somewhat, right, that we have seen. Whenever there is a uniform heat generation inside the slab, the maximum temperature will be in between, right? Then while the left and right slabs have no internal heat generation, in left slab, which is slab number 1, as well as in slab number 3, which is right slab, in these both slab heat generation is not given, means heat generation is zero. There is no heat generation, right? Therefore my dear students, whatever here heat generated in the first slab, now this heat generated heat flows from this maximum temperature to both sides of slab, that already we have seen. So here in case of center slab, the temperature distribution will be parabolic. Therefore the temperature flows from center, that is maximum temperature, to other two ends, maximum temperature to other two ends like this. And let us say here temperature becomes T3. I am assuming here I am assuming temperature as T4, right? Then and this left slab and right slab do not generate any heat. Then let us go to the question. All slabs have equal thickness equal to 1 meter. Now see, for each and every slab, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter is the thickness, right? And thermal conductivity of each slab is equal to 5 watt per meter Kelvin. Now K1 is equal to K2 is equal to K3 they have given. Here thermal conductivity of each slab is same. K1 is equal to K2 is equal to K3 is equal to K, which is nothing but K is 5 watt per meter Kelvin. This data they have provided here, right? Then the two extreme faces are exposed to fluid with heat transfer coefficient 100 watt per meter square Kelvin and bulk temperature 30 degrees Celsius as shown. Now my dear students, here both sides, two extreme, that is left extreme face is subjected to the thermal conductivity convective heat transfer coefficient H of 100 watt per meter square Kelvin, as well as the fluid temperature T infinity is 30 degrees Celsius. Fluid temperature T infinity is 30 degrees Celsius. As well as on the right side, the convective heat transfer coefficient H is again 100 and fluid temperature is again 30 degrees Celsius. Means both sides are subjected to same fluid with the same convective heat transfer coefficient EH and same fluid temperature T infinity. Right, this is a given. Then the heat transfer in the slab is assumed to be one dimensional. Now this is very much important. Here heat transfer is 1D, as heat is flowing in only one direction, right? Then and steady, again very important word, steady, right? Here heat transfer is one dimensional, means heat is flowing along any one direction only and steadily. Steady means, the meaning of steady is there is no change in temperature with respect to time. Temperature will not change with respect to time. Means at each and every location within the slab, the temperature will be constant at particular location with respect to time. Means let us say this T1 on the left extreme face, which is 100 degrees Celsius, it will remain always 100 degrees Celsius with respect to any time. Again this T3 on the right side of first slab, this T3 also remains constant at any respective of time with respect to time, right? T4 also remains constant on this face with respect to time, and T2 is also again constant on right face with respect to time, means with respect to time temperature is not changing now, and all properties are constant, all other properties are constant. If the left extreme phase temperature T1 is measured to be 100 degrees Celsius, now here left extreme phase temperature is 100 degrees Celsius, the right extreme phase temperature T2 in degrees Celsius is, then what will be the value of T2? Now my dear students, with the help of these two assumptions, that is 1D, flow is only in one direction, and temperature is not a function of time, steady state, right? It is called steady flow. With the help of these two assumptions, let us understand the concept, right? Therefore, because of one directional, the heat flows along any one direction. Let us say heat is flowing along x direction. Therefore, the direction of heat flow will be x direction only, right? And as it is steady, right? Temperature at each and every location should be constant at that with respect to any time, right? So, my dear students, heat always flows from maximum temperature to minimum temperature, and in this complete assembly the maximum temperature will be somewhere here in the second slab. The location of maximum temperature is not a question, so don't bother about that, whatever may be the location of this maximum temperature, right? Now here maximum temperature is somewhere here, therefore heat always flows from maximum temperature to other temperatures. Therefore the direction of heat flow, let us understand the direction of heat flow. Whatever may be the heat generated, now in this second slab, that is interface slab, the heat is generated uniformly. For steady state condition, as heat is generated inside the slab, the temperature is increasing. Because of generation of heat, temperature is increasing, but they have given steady state condition, that means temperature must be constant. Therefore whatever may be the heat generated inside the center slab, the all heat generated must be heat loss from the slab. Whatever may be generated inside must be heat lost from that slab. So let us understand what will be the heat lost. Now my dear students, from this maximum temperature to T3, from this maximum temperature to T3, heat will flow by conduction because it is a solid. Therefore there will be a conduction. Let us say this conduction heat is Q1 amount of heat is flowing, let us say, from maximum temperature to T3. Again from T3 to T1, the heat will flow by conduction in the first slab. Therefore there will be a conduction in first slab. Let us say this is a Q conduction of first slab. And my dear students, from this T1 to T infinity, between fluid and the solid surface, there will be a convection. Therefore from this left face to the surrounding fluid, there will be a convection, that is there will be a heat convected, heat convection 1, heat convection 1. This will be the mode of heat transfer from maximum temperature to T infinity on left side. But as well as the heat will flow towards right also, because the maximum temperature is at in between slab 2, right? Therefore from this maximum temperature on both side, on left side as well as on right side, heat will flow. Therefore let us say here I am assuming the heat flowing towards right is Q2. Let us say heat flowing towards right is Q2 in slab 2. Therefore again from T4 to T2 in slab 3, the heat will flow by conduction. Therefore this will be heat conduction in third slab, right? In third slab, right? Q conduction 3. And my dear students, again between this right extreme phase at temperature T2 and surrounding fluid which is at T infinity and convective transfer coefficient EH, there will be a convection. So my dear students, here there will be a convection to the surrounding fluid. Let us say this is a convection 2, Q convection 2, right, to the surrounding fluid between T2 and T infinity. This will be the direction of heat flow. So my dear students, here we have calculated, we have seen or observed or analyzed the direction of heat flow. The direction of heat flow is x direction, but the heat flows from maximum temperature to both sides, right, towards left also, towards right also. and here my assumption is toward left side q1 amount of heat is going, and toward right q2 amount of heat going, right? And my dear students, for steady state condition, whatever may be the heat generated inside the center slab must be equal to heat lost to the surrounding. So here I am deleting the question so that we will get sufficient space for the solution, because all the data we have written, right? All the given data we have written, and we have to find T2, right? So let us solve for T2. Now, my dear students, one condition I will get, whatever may be the heat generated inside the center slab, that is heat generated inside the center slab must be equal to heat lost from center slab, that is slab 2. Now here, from the center slab, the heat loss is towards left Q1 amount and towards right Q2 amount. Therefore, whatever may be the heat generated must be equal to Q1 plus Q2, right? So my dear students, here our target is to find heat generated Q1 and Q2. Now, heat generated is nothing but, here Q dot is uniform heat generation rate in watt per meter cube. That means it is a heat generated per unit volume. If I multiply this uniform heat generation rate with volume, then I will get total heat generated, right? Therefore, we can say heat generated is nothing but Q dot into volume is equal to Q1 plus Q2, right? This will be our relation. Now, my dear students, here volume is simple to calculate, area into length or thickness, right? Again, Q dot is given, Q1 and Q2 we have to find. Now, as they have mentioned steady state, that is temperature is not a function of time. Therefore, whatever may be the heat conducted through second slab towards left, that is Q1, the same heat is conducted through the first slab, that is Q conduction 1, and the same heat is convected to the surrounding fluid. Therefore, here we can say the Q1 will be equal to Q conduction in first slab is equal to Q convection 1 to the surrounding fluid. Therefore, my dear students, this Q1 can be written as, here, now conduction heat transfer that we have seen, conduction is nothing but temperature difference. For the first slab, temperature difference is T3 minus T1. Temperature difference is T3 minus T1 divided by, right? Now, resistance of this slab. The resistance of this slab is thickness divided by K into A. That is thickness is here. Thickness is 1 meter. Resistance of slab. We know that resistance of slab is equal to thickness divided by Ka. Right. Therefore, here T1, T3 minus T1, and thickness of first slab is 1 meter. We have a thermal conductivity K. Let us write down here T. Thickness as T. We have a thermal conductivity is K into area A is equal to, right? This will be the, here R through the slab. This is a T divided by K is the resistance through the slab, conduction resistance. Now, my dear students, again from this T1 to T infinity, there is heat transfer by convection, right? And we know that the convection heat transfer, this Q, is nothing but temperature difference divided by convection resistance, which is nothing but temperature difference, that is T1 minus T infinity divided by convection resistance. And my dear students, what is convection resistance? We know that the convection resistance is 1 upon HA, therefore it is 1 upon HA. It should be the convection resistance between here H and area, right, for the left side, right? This is how we can find Q1. Therefore, look at here in the values. Q1 is unknown, but T1 is known, T infinity is known, H is known, area we can calculate, right? So, my dear students, if I equate them, I can calculate T3. But here our target is not to find T3, right? Here our target is to find T2, right? From equating them, we can find T3. And as in slab 1, there is no uniform heat generation, that is heat generation is 0. Therefore, there will be a straight line. There will be a temperature distribution like this, straight line. Between T3 and T1, there will be a straight line like this, right? And as well as in slab 3, there is no heat generation. Therefore, between T4 and T2, there is straight line. Between T4 and T2, there will be a straight line like this. There will be a T2, right? So here we are going to use Q1 is equal to T1 minus T infinity divided by 1 upon HA, because T3 is not known. T1 and T infinity are known. Now, if I want to calculate T3, I will equate these two equations, because T1, T infinity thickness, thermal conductivity are given. Area will get cancelled from both sides and I can calculate T3, right? But as the question is to find T2, so let us not focus on T3. Let us focus on T2 only. So I need Q1. For calculation of Q1, I will say it is T1 minus T infinity divided by 1 upon HA. So let us write somewhere here Q1 is equal to T1 minus T infinity divided by 1 upon HA. This should be the Q1. Similarly, my dear students, now the whatever may be the heat generated inside this center slab, the some quantity is some quantity of heat lost to the left side, that is Q1 is going towards left side and the remaining which is Q2 is going towards the right side. Therefore this Q2, can I say, whatever for steady state condition they have mentioned it is a steady state condition. For steady state condition, this Q2, that is heat conducted through this center cylinder towards right, is equal to heat conducted through this slab 3 and as well as is equal to heat convected to the surrounding fluid towards right. Therefore we can say here Q2 is equal to heat conducted inside third cylinder is equal to heat convected towards right, that is heat convection 2. So my dear students, from this we can write Q2 is equal to heat conducted between third cylinder in this third slab, the heat conducted is between T4 and T2. Therefore here temperature difference is T4 minus T2 and between them resistance is again through slab T divided by Ka, thickness divided by Ka. This will be resistance is equal to, now heat convected to, this heat convected is between T2 and T infinity. Therefore here temperature difference is T2 minus T infinity, T2 minus T infinity divided by, now convection resistance is 1 upon HA, 1 upon HA. So my dear students, if I want to find T4, then I will equate these two equations, right? And before that, to find T4, I will calculate T2, right, from other boundary conditions or other relations. First of all, find T2, and again, if you want to find this T4, then by equating these two equations, you can find T4. Because here all other values are known, only T2 and T4 are unknown. So let us solve for T2 first. Now here I am going to use Q2 is equal to T2 minus T infinity divided by 1 upon HA. Therefore, Q2 is equal to T2 minus T infinity divided by 1 upon HA. Right. Now, my dear students, let us equate them. Now, here heat generated Q dot into volume is equal to Q1 plus Q2. Let us put in these equations. Right. So, my dear students, the equations will become, the final equations will become like this. Here, heat generated, which is nothing but Q dot into volume. Let us write this heat generated, that is Q dot into volume is equal to heat conducted towards left Q1 plus heat conducted towards right Q2, right? So my dear students, Q dot into volume is area into thickness of the center slab. It is generated only in the center slab, no? Therefore volume of this center slab only we have to consider, only this volume we have to consider. Therefore area, here I will mark this area with another color. Let us say this will be the area. Let us say this is the area of all slabs. This will be the area, right? This is the area of all slabs into, if I say into thickness, area into thickness will be the volume, right? Therefore thickness is T is equal to, Q1 is nothing but, my dear student, Q1 is T1 minus T infinity divided by 1 upon HA, right? Plus T2 is nothing but, Q2 is nothing but T2 minus T infinity divided by 1 upon HA, right? Now my dear students, here from both sides area will get cancelled, as this area is a denominator of denominator, then this denominator of denominator will become numerator. Therefore here we will say Q dot into area into T is equal to T1. Here we can say this HA, if I take in numerator, HA T1 minus T infinity plus HA T2 minus T infinity, right? So from both sides area will get cancelled, because for conduction also the same area is a perpendicular area to the conduction, right? Here this is the direction of conduction, therefore the same area, this area is a perpendicular area for the conduction, right? And the same area is available for convection also, the same area is available for convection. because between surrounding fluid and this area only there is a convection. Therefore, the final result we got here, let us equate this final result, right? So my dear students, here I'm going to write the final result. It is q dot into t. This will be equal to h t1 minus t infinity plus h t2 minus t infinity. So let us put the values. Q dot, that is uniform heat generation rate, is 10,000. It is given. You will find here. I have written here. Then thickness of the center slab is 1 meter into 1, right? Is equal to h. Convective heat transfer coefficient on both sides is same. That is 100 watt per meter square Kelvin. Therefore, it is 100 into T1. T1 is 100 and T infinity is 30. Therefore, 100 minus 30 plus EH is 100. T2 is unknown. T infinity is 30. T infinity is 30. Right. So, my dear students, in this complete equation, only T2 is unknown. So, let us solve this equation for T2. So, I will get this T2 is equal to 60 degrees Celsius. Right. So, my dear students, in degree Celsius only they are asking what is the right phase temperature in degree Celsius, T2. Therefore, T2 will be 60 degrees Celsius. And if question is to find T3 and T4, then we can equate this Q1 is equal to Q conduction, right? Q conduction 1. And to find T4, we can equate Q2 is equal to Q conduction 3 is equal to Q convection 2, right? Similarly, we can find T3 and T4 also, right? And my dear students, as there is no heat transfer in first lab, as there is no heat generation in the first lab, therefore there will be a straight inclined line. That is, for temperature distribution, there will be a straight inclined line. And in second slab, there is a uniform heat generation rate. Therefore, there will be a parabolic distribution. Temperature distribution is parabolic. Again, in third slab, there is no internal heat generation. Therefore, there will be a straight line. Thank you, dear students. In next lecture, we will see one more numerical on this topic, which was asked in previous year GATE examination.